Okay, so you would just go to a course and choose one of your courses, and in the normal way you would add, this is actually Antonetta's course, I better not mess with her course. This is one of my courses. In the normal way you would add a Turnitin external tool from here and just click, this is called a test, and click submit. Open it up, and I'm making the assumption that you've all had students use Turnitin to submit their work. Okay, the next step is enable peer mark. Click that on and click submit, and it opens up two more tabs up here, and under setup it's a little bit clunky, this date organization. I don't normally touch that one. Once I would normally adjust this one. This is how long you give the students to review, and once it's set up and people start reviewing, you can't change it. That's the clunkiness of it. So once students start, you can't change that. And then I normally match those two dates together so that the moment people finished reviewing, they can get their feedback, including the instructor, because I also do reviews of student work. Additional settings, there's a couple of things here I switch on. I always give students two other students' work, and it's completely random, and as long as when students submit their work they don't write their name on their submission, it's completely anonymous. And the other one that I always do is students without a submission can review, yes. That means Joe Lazy has not handed in some work, he still has to do a review of someone else's work, which is helpful for him as well. And then I just click save and continue. And the other thing that I always do is I add questions, and this is quite intuitive, and I ask about 5 questions that students have to answer about other students' work, so that there's a bit of scaffolding. Otherwise, just review that, please. Really good, kids write really lame comments, so that's a really good tool to add questions. So then you're pretty much set up and students do all their reviewing. I'll just show you how it looks from the student point of view. So they literally see what you see, that test button, and unfortunately there's no work to review at the moment, but they'll see these 3 options. They'll have to click over here to do their reviewing, and up here normally there'll be 2, in this section there'll be 2 papers to review for them, and they have to click over here, start review, and then they have to click a submit button after they've submitted their reviews. And then at the end of it, when the timer clicks over, they'll have another button that will say received feedback, and they'll click that one, and they'll be able to see the feedback they got from other students. The only other trip hazard that I've found here is occasionally people don't get this because they've got a block, like there's a cookie that's switched on or off, and it comes up with a red with a minus sign up here, and the students have to click that and click allow. But otherwise I've had no problems students getting their reviews back. Let's go back to course. Now, one last thing, and you can have a practice if you like, is you need to go in, if you want to do a teacher review, you have to come in through the Turnitin website and log in with your school email. And once you've set up some reviews in your courses, it'll already identify, it already knows about my 13s at least, and this is the one that I just set up. And so I've set up a paper, an assignment. It was called test. Oh, hold on, here it is here. Test. There must be 6 students that have actually logged into my Schoology from my 12 maths class. So there's 0 out of 6 submitted. And here's the pair mark one. So that looks as if you'd, I'll show you. So these are the students who have actually used, I think we only started this recently, like today in fact. So that's what my 12, that's just where they submit their papers to, so that's no different to what you would have used before. But under peer review, I'm not sure if it's going to, under here, this is where you write your instructor review. Obviously there's nothing to write a review about now at the moment, but this is how you would go on and do your instructor review, and also within the deadline that you've set for yourself. And the other thing in this window, you can actually go and see, say Norjay for example, these are the 2 reviews that she would have done herself, so you can click in here and make sure Norjay is not writing silly things to James, you know what I mean? Like you can go see who she actually got assigned, and over here it'll tell you who has done a review of Norjay's work. So you can say, I can see all your work, class. It's not completely anonymous, I still have control. You know, you make sure that they're not doing silly stuff.